Scene, London, England. William Prynne enters stage right.
The generality of Christmas keepers observe that festival after such a manner as highly dishonorable to the name of Christ. How few are there comparatively that spend those holidays, as they are called, after a holy manner? But they are consumed in mad merriment, long eating, hard drinking, lewd gambling, and rude revelling. Anyone found observing by abstinence from labor, feasting, or any other way any such days as Christmas Day shall pay for every such with offence 5 shillings.
John Jenkins enters stage left.
If any man or woman that can give any information or tell any tidings of an very old, gray-bearded gentleman called Christmas, who was wont to be a very familiar guest and visit all sorts of people, both poor and rich, and used to appear in glittering gold, silk, and rich, and used to appear in silver in the court, and had ringing peace and jollity in all places, both in the city and country for his coming. Whosoever can tell what has become of him or where he may be found, let them bring him back again to England.
Christmas is a pagan festival co-opted by a Catholic festival. There is no evidence in the Bible that Christ was born on December 25th.
What a popish misery you are!
I beg to differ. I am preparing England for the second coming of Christ.
If we can't have Christmas, then we shall have our king back.
Father Christmas enters stage right. Here I come, welcome in or welcome not. I hope old Father Christmas will never be forgot.
Keep out, you come not here.
Oh, sir, bring good cheer.
Father Christmas, welcome, do not fear.
I will not deny that our Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell does enjoy music, dancing, and party games in his private life, but if brought anywhere near worship is damnable.
In other words, we can have our Christmas just as long as it's done at home.
So be it.
Prynne exits stage right. There is a time for work and a time for play, a time to be melancholy and a time to be gay. Ho, ho, ho. A time to be thrifty and a time to be free. But sure enough, at Christmas time, may all we jovial be.
So we move on to Interregnum Christmas.
Interregnum Christmas.
Well, I never took that. But thanks for the explanation.
Well, I'll teach you a Latin word, Stephen. Rex means king, and regnum is to do with, is a form of the word king. So interregnum means between kings. So Charles the First got his head chopped off, and then they didn't have kings for a decade or so, and then they brought back his son Charles the Second. So this is the interregnum in England.
Okay.
And fun fact, the Lord Chancellor Oliver Cromwell,
Lord Protector Oliver Cromwell,
far more of a Lord Protector. You're right. Was far more of a dictator and an authoritarian, and had far more power than the kings did at that time. And they offered him. They said, "Hey, would you like to be king?" And he goes, "Yeah, no, thank you. I'm good."
He's so
He was actually, yeah. So for all this, sometimes people think, oh, that was a time they got rid of kings, they had more democracy. No.
He was pulling strings behind closed doors for sure. Yeah.
No, he had more power than the Charleses did. More, he was almost absolute power. So yeah, it was yikes. Anyway, okay, as you were.
So, Lewis, was this a real topic between these two people that whether
Yes,
we
yes,
celebrate Christmas?
yes.
Because, well, I guess considering the politics of today, I guess people even then got involved in things that probably didn't have any real significance to how things were going in the world. They would focus on something like, should we celebrate Christmas or not? It just surprised me.
Yeah. Yeah, the Puritans were really against holidays, and they considered Christmas to be sinful. It's kind of ironic now because the United States is based on, I mean, originated with the Puritans, and people even still say we're still puritanical. And yet the people who are the equivalent of the Puritans now will often go on about, oh, Christmas is so important and we have to say Merry Christmas or you're not a real Christian and you can't say Happy Holidays. But the people who preceded them would have thought they were sinful for even celebrating Christmas at all. So it was a pagan holiday as far as they were concerned, just dressed up as a Christian holiday, and which is true. And they so, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
One moment, please.
Okay.
So did it go as you wished it, Lewis?
Kinda.
Kinda. Okay.
Oh, what do you mean,
Luis.
kinda?
Luis, thank you for having me on your faith play.
You're very welcome. The play just needs some more work.
Oh.
Yes, that's true. Because it is very short.
No, I was frantically asking Luis for notes. I was asking for acting feedback, and then John came in to try to calm me down, and it was like, I feel even more obnoxious now. But that was my own. I originally felt like I was being very obnoxious, and then Luis said I was fine.
You were probably in character.
Thank you.
Method acting.
So would you extend this play, Luis?
I would mention the fact that the shops were to be open and churches were to be closed.
Okay. So did it come to pass that they allowed Christmas to be celebrated, but only in the individual's home? Did that happen?
Well, I learned in a documentary that Oliver Cromwell did in fact enjoy party games, him singing and dancing in his private life. So it was thought that the people could have Christmases as long as it was done at home.
Okay.
Mhm.
Seems fair.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Thank
Educational.
you for teaching us that.
Yes, educational.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was completely banned, so that's good to know.
Very good.
Any if those things were anywhere near worship, unacceptable.
Mhm.
Okay.
Any other questions or feedback?
15.
So at this time period, who were the ruling class who decided what was going to be done and what wasn't?
The parliamentarians.
Now, were they Puritans, Catholic, what?
I'm not
Protestant.
Catholic.
Protestant.
No.
Protestants?
Protestant. England is Anglican. That's the name of Church of England or the Anglican Church. That's the name of the Christian of the Protestant Church in United Kingdom.
But the
Yeah, but
Puritans.
at that time, it wasn't. At that time, would have been the Puritans, right, and not the Anglican Church, because the Anglican Church was too Catholic-like.
Yes,
True,
yes, they are
true.
similar to Catholic. They are called Anglo-Catholicism.
Mhm.
It's good.
But they are the Church of England, and their head is the King of England right now, which is King Charles.
Right.
King Charles III.
Third, yes. He is the head of because the British royal family. It is not just a royal family. They are similar to Pope, also to the Pope that they
Pope
headed a
Leo.
religion.
Yeah.
Yes, if the Pope in Vatican City, in the smallest nation in the world, has a Catholic church, if the Pope has the Catholic church, the King of United Kingdom has an Anglican church. So they are just the same to the Pope.
Yeah. Similar.
Mhm.
As I was saying, hing, hing, after the monarchy was restored, Christmas wasn't as popular as popular as it once was before the interregnum until the Victorian era.
Okay.
Mm.
So
I have to get off. I'm sorry. I have to be.
It's
Okay.
all right.
thank you, Trish.
Bye,
Bye, Charlie.
Trisha. I love you
Goodbye,
so
Charlie.
much.
Bye.
Thank
Goodbye,
you.
bye,
Real
Thank you,
quick
Tisha.
before
Tricia.
I get off, the next play I
Bye.
identify with the play about the Jewish person marrying the non-Jew. My husband's Episcopalian and I'm Jewish, so I understand that play. That was very good too. All the other plays good too. Bye.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Any other
Bye.
feedback on my play?
Great. So, Tasman, does this connect with you and your historical studies while going to school in England?
Oh gosh, that was a long time ago. But Interregnum, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, it does. Because when we were talking about King Charles, sorry,
The fir-
before, no, sorry, let me take it back. When Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II passed away September, there was a lot of discussion about how the next monarch would be addressed. And they finally chose King Charles III, and then obviously everyone was looking up the first and the second and so on. So there we are. But yes, history, yes, a long time ago. But I was really more interested in the period of Enlightenment, so that's much later on.
Enlightenment and
You know, I want to tell you that Luis really, really loves to vote historical plays. Like before, he votes Pope Boniface the 8th, which is historical also.
Pope
Yes,
Boniface VIII.
yes,
Yeah.
where I play the role of that
You
last
played the
month.
title character,
Yes, yes, I'm the
who is
character.
portrayed
Yes,
as a monster
I
of
play.
greed and cruelty.
Yes, that's history. That's historical. You like to write historical plays like today, the Christmas, the time when England was ruled by the Puritans in the 17th century, and previously you wrote the Pope Boniface the 8th, the Mad Pope, also known as the Mad Pope. That's historical. You really like historical play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, one question I would like to ask you before I go. In my play, one of the characters is Father Christmas. Yes, is Father Christmas a spirit or a human?
He's a spirit.
Spirit.
Yes, he is a spirit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spirit, yeah.
I always
Yes.
thought he was an elf.
No, that's Santa Claus. It's not the same thing.
No, that's Santa Claus. And also I want to tell you that Santa Claus is was not comes from the North Pole. I read the history of Santa Claus. Santa Claus is from Finland. There is I read an history there in Finland. They have a Christmas culture that they do the Santa Claus.
Okay, part finish here. And if you're wondering where I come from, my people created Christmas. My great grandmother came over here from the Laplands. Look it up. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we invented Christmas, you guys, as a result of magic mushrooms. I'm sorry to break it to you this way.
I love that. I only get them once in college, but I love that.
A bunch of reindeer herders, my people, in the 1600s invented Christmas as a result of magic mushrooms, and it spread to the
I've
United
heard of
States.
that. I've heard of that.
There's a wonderful YouTube video that it does explain it. I'll try to dig it up and find it. And the YouTube host also recommended a book about mankind and mushrooms, which I did not buy, but sounded fascinating, and I want it to come in at my local library. It sounds great, but yeah, we're from the Laplands, and the reindeer were a method of transportation. The sledding, it was a way to get around. They still do it nowadays. It's not as common.
Is it the Kris Kringle story? Is Christopher Kringle?
Kris Kringle is the name Protestants came up with for Santa Claus because they thought Santa Claus was too Catholic because it's based on St. Nicholas.
Oh man, you're a walking. I love that. ChatGPT.
I actually learned that recently. I only learned that recently, actually.
Father Christmas is strictly British.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, really.
We were talking about saints and in the breakout rooms, and I don't know enough about it to
I would like to inform you that Father Christmas is not Santa Claus.
Right.
Right.
No.
He is the personification of the Christmas season.
So
Kind of like
would
Dickens.
it depend on what culture or country you're in? Because I always assumed Kris Kringle, Father Christmas, Santa Claus was just another name for the same person.
Yeah.
Or same
No.
Well, he became synonymous with Santa Claus later on during the Victorian era.
Because I'm sure in China they call him.
Is like quasi-Dan St. Nicholas. It's combining.
And now that I know about the magic mushrooms, now I know why Santa Claus is so jolly.
It's very much, there's a reason for the stockings hanging over the fireplace. It was because you wear stockings in Finland because it's so cold, and you dry them over the fire, and then eating oranges with all of these it was very based in folk practices of like the 1600s. And yes, it's still totally a thing. And I know I draw quite a bit of attention to my Irish heritage because I'm a little obnoxious, but yeah, the Finnish is definitely there. If you really want to know, you can tell by my eyes and my forehead. Anyway, totally lost my train of thought. Oh, by the way, Finland has two national anthems, and the main national anthem, and I will never back down from this, is the one Maamme, which I think I did not pronounce correctly. You look up the lyrics in England, and it's English, and it's about the sun rising. And then there's another one that's nobody cares.
Also,
I got it backwards.
Play because I have to get going soon.
Okay.
Can we move on to the next play and maybe go back to this
I can
later?
always yammer on later. That's fine.
Okay.
Also, I have a fact about the anthem of Finland. The national anthem of Finland is not only used in Finland. In Estonia, I hear the anthem of Estonia has a same tune with the anthem of Finland. The only difference is lyrics. I know the tune of anthem of Finland. Ten 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 ten.
Oh, we've got people.
You're doing the second one. I'm thinking of the original one, which is it's called Finlandia Hymni. It was written in the 1920s by John Sibelius. You can look up a ton of people singing it on YouTube. That's the one. It's about sun rising, and it's very popular actually for flash mobs to sing.
Please move on to the next play, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
This stuff that's not play related later.
A truth and
Bye.
A truth and lie.
I gotta get going too.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes, bye, Louis.
Thank you for reading my play, by the way.
Yes, thanks. Yes, thanks
Now
for
that
having
you've
me
held
on your
us all
play.
up for minutes, now you're leaving. Okay.
Okay.